Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. It's been a while, I know. Been busy with my paintings and my presentations and upcoming exhibitions, but I needed to make some time for this video, which I'm going to be sharing with you. It's all about the definition of success. This has been a thought as of late. I've been thinking about this a lot. What are our goals and definitions of what it means to be a successful artist? I know this channel deals a lot with the issues of art, archetypes, and even algorithms, which I've been talking about lately with the presentation I just gave. I know this might be a video that for many of you who are young artists, aspiring artists, or even mid-career artists might be questioning or asking yourselves, what are my goals? What do I see as something that I aspire to be a successful artist? What does that really imply? How do we unpack that and define it? So I think if you go on YouTube, you'll find plenty of people defining success in different manners. But as for artists, it should be interesting to explore this issue with my own personal insights, of course. Many fellow artists, friends of mine, have different views on this, but these views have changed for me throughout the years. Let's start right with the elephant in the room. The most obvious thing, which is a given. Most definitions of success are related to money. Of course, we are in a capitalist-driven society where money is everything. And unfortunately, many artists get carried away by that. And I don't blame them either, because, I mean, we are immersed into this consumer capitalist driven society that just puts so much pressure on us on this rat race, which is just absurd if you think about it. It's so disconnected from the human soul, from our own primitive natures. And of course there's survival, but this is just a way to step away even further from nature itself. And I feel that we cannot talk about success without first addressing that elephant in the room. In art schools, it's quite interesting because I remember back in my undergrad years when I was starting to deal with art galleries, and there was this taboo and the stigma about working with art galleries and selling your work. You were selling yourself out before even graduating, and I had to stop and think and question why was this prejudice against art students trying to make a living out of art. I understand that you're still growing as an artist, you're still maturing, there's much to be learned, and I understand that, but how do they expect us to make a living if we don't start practicing and starting out with art galleries? Even if it's at a very young age, I don't see anything wrong with that. Now, when I went to grad school to do my master's degree, the expectations of making it into the art world were a little bit different. And it was all about making art residencies, getting your slides, your work into art registries, with the submissions, to getting your first show, and getting your work out there, which is great. And I felt like that was very much needed in my case, because I felt like I was feeling guilty for, having an early success in selling, right? If you define success as selling artwork and making a living as an artist, that was my moment of success. I've been doing this for over 22 years, and I feel quite comfortable with the medium right now, working with art galleries and showing my work in public venues, in museums, in commercial art gallery settings. I don't think that there is anything wrong with the notion that artists have to, or put too many excuses, as if explaining why do I sell my work, even though my work is a criticism in many ways of consumerism. But we live in a system and we have to pay bills. Unfortunately, it's part of life. It's how it works. There's also this other notion of fame, this definition that comes with the celebrity influencer culture, this TikTok mentality of making it big on YouTube or social media. And it's just another tentacle of consumer culture. It's just pushing you to trying to be successful by your likes, by the views, by how many people you reach, how popular you are, right? And I feel like that is in itself a trap. And if you go by that and those are your aspirations, well, I cannot blame you either. That's again, we are immersed in this society, in this culture that just rewards that kind of behavior. The algorithms are really going to be pushing you towards that direction. In this casino slot machine dynamic, that you have to be constantly getting these dopamine hits from the likes, from the views, and from the responses, from the comments and all that. Just be careful, just be mindful, because this is part of the big tech stratagem to keep you hooked, and they're really looking to grab your attention because that's where they make their money. Just to be mindful that success has many more definitions that are often overlooked. So before I went into painting, I was teaching. And I got a lot of gratification out of that. And feeling that I made a difference in the lives and in the art and of these students, of these young aspiring artists, that some of them even went up to go to art schools. I was teaching them private drawing and painting lessons. But it got to a point where I felt like I needed to grow as an artist, and I needed to prove myself that I could do it as an artist in the art world, and I could live off my art. That was my at that moment, that my definition of success was making a living as an artist. That I'm talking about early 2000s. And that's how I got started. And I quit teaching just to get into a full-time job as a painter, independent, on my own. And so far, so good. And up to this point, 22 years later, I'm still doing it. Now, the definition of success does change as you grow older. You start looking at the world differently. Either you move to a different place, different state, different country, you buy a house, you become a parent. Many things can happen in your life that changes your whole perspective. You travel, you get to meet other people, other perspectives. You're exposed to more and more technology, and technology has really grown exponentially, and it has had a tremendous impact on the art world. And we artists are not immune to this. We should be very mindful of how this is affecting the way we make art and think about art. So my definition today went full circle back to the time when I was teaching art. Because at that moment, my definition of success, it was more about the connection and the interaction with others and having a positive impact and reaching out to young students, aspiring artists, and helping them out and being a positive influence and an agent of change in many ways, and a creative force of good. And that still stands. But of course, when you're a painter and you're living off of your work through art galleries, it becomes more about the ideals and the message that's behind the work, and trying to make it sustainable, and finding a balance and a common ground, and balancing these two ideals, right, in a way that's harmonious and not conflicting in any way. Now going full circle and back to what I learned as a teacher, I feel that my definition of success is very much tied to the idea of upholding three principles. So there's basically three things that I look for in my definition of success. Number one, do what I really love and I feel passionate about. I need to be completely sincere, genuinely honest, and give it my all. That something that I can do and I feel I can do for the rest of my life and not retire. Give it my 100%. Number two, learn from it and be able to grow by doing it. It's a learning experience, and at the same time, other people are learning from it too. So it's a combined effect of learning and sharing and connecting with other people, and we're both benefiting. The audience, the people who views the art or the content, and myself as an artist. I'm also growing and learning from this. So I feel like I'm young because I feel like I'm still a student and there's much to be learned, and it's still challenging. It's still hard. Don't be afraid to, don't shy away from challenges, from things that are hard to do. That's why I'm doing a YouTube channel, because I feel like there's a lot to be learned from this medium. And this is something new that makes me feel like a student again. And that's essential and vital for the creative process. And finally, and last, if you can make money, making the thing that you truly love, connecting with others, and being a positive change, that's a big bonus. And I call that success. Money isn't everything in life, but it does pay the bills. Another thing is that always be open to change your mind. Because as I said, when you grow older, your experiences are going to move you in a different direction, and you're gonna start looking at life differently. It's natural to feel burnt out. I've felt burnt out and just exhausted from one particular practice, and then I feel the need to switch gears and go to something else. Like I used to do portraits for a living. I was a portrait artist, and I was doing so many portraits that I just felt completely burnt out. And then I switched to teaching. And then I went through the whole process of feeling like, yeah, this is it. Now I need to move on to the next thing. And then it was painting. The painting has been the longest for so far. And at the same time, I must say, I don't want to be stuck doing a single thing. I want to be able to embrace and be open to different technologies that are at my disposal. I want to be open to experiment with new formats, with new mediums. And I feel YouTube is just a perfect medium to share my art, my insights, my experience, my knowledge, everything that I've come to learn as an artist. I wish I could share it with the world, and this is just the perfect place to do so. Finally, if you're an artist, don't let any definition of success given by someone else define you. There's many people with very good intentions that want to tell you what to do and what's best for you, and what is the ideal scenario of a successful art career. Take it with a grain of salt. Every person's experience is different. Yours is unique to your life experience. Not even what I'm telling you right now should be taken religiously. Of course not. So be open to change, be open to experiment and face new challenges, things that are hard or exciting. Those are the things that you really grow and learn and are a lot more gratifying than the things that you already master. If you master something, and you're already very good at it, move on to the next thing. Don't stay there. That's the easy path. And I feel success should not be measured by mastery, but rather by your ability to adapt to new circumstances and look for new challenges. I'll leave you with one of my favorite quotes by Ralph Waldo Emerson. To be yourself in the world that is constantly trying to make you something else is the greatest accomplishment. So keep creating, keep growing, and defining your own success. It's all about intention, purpose, and putting your heart into it. Thanks a lot for watching. Hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, hit the like button, subscribe, notification bell, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye-bye.